I'm just saying that as a consumer, that you ought to acknowledge that this is happening to you, that this is intentional by the companies that are doing this. It is an artificial scarcity that does not need to exist, but does in order to help them move product. So if they're doing this to help them, the question is it helping you? What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I am Brian, and if things are looking a little bit better to you on your end than they typically do on this channel, that's because I've got a huge camera upgrade. I just picked up a Sony a7 IV this evening. It's almost midnight here, and I didn't actually buy this as an upgrade for film. I bought it so I could take nicer pictures of my daughter. I actually am coming from what used to be a Sony a7, full frame mirrorless a7. I got this as soon as it came out, and I have been rocking it ever since. It's been a good 10 years. Full frame, it's honestly all about the glass, but I'm really happy to have this upgrade, and if you guys are interested, I can make a video comparing the practical differences, because there's already a lot of technical videos that go through all the features, but practically speaking, there are a couple of reasons that I went for this upgrade, and in doing so, I had to go through the entire landscape of what's on offer. So I've got a lot of information in my head about this right now, but that's not why we're here. Why we're here. So, if you're familiar with this channel, we do a series called Hot Talk every now and then with me and my best friend Dennis. And they're just nice, long fireside chats, basically, that run on for an hour to 2 hours. And we really just talk about whatever is on our mind. We try to kind of come in with a general theme. But Dennis has been away quite a bit, and I haven't had an opportunity to do this. So I'm going to be intentional about it. And today we're going to use what's in this box here to actually drive this conversation. So this is a Peak Design Sitka collaboration. I know, right? What? What are we talking about? Peak Design and Sitka, a kind of camouflage EDC gear clothing company, have done a collaboration for some Peak Design items that I personally have a lot of experience with and really love, but it's just like, what's going on here? It's not just a new product, it was a limited edition collaboration. So we have here apparently highly desirable items that I did not expect were going to be highly desirable, or ought to be highly desirable. I've got a mirrorless camera sling style strap, and I've got a capture camera clip. And you know, if you actually wanted to see these, I could open them up, but really that's not the purpose of this talk. So I have both of these products in just kind of regular colorways. I bought them because I've got the Mystery Ranch Unicorn 2.0 in multicam, and I thought, you know, multicam strap would be pretty cool. This strap is just a black strap. I love it. I've used it for years. It works incredibly well. As a product, this is a fantastic product. Does the multicam put it over the top? For my purposes, in this case, yes. And then over here, we have the capture camera clip. And that is a product, again, I'm very familiar with. I've got one right here. I've used it on my pack for years. And it has become my de facto walking around GoPro mount. So I absolutely love both of these products. They are exceptionally well made, exceptionally well thought out, but we've got a problem. And it's not necessarily a problem around these two specific products, but it is a cultural problem. It is something that I've observed in the sneaker world, and it's something that I was honestly kind of surprised to see really starting to permeate, if it hasn't already fully permeated, the bag, carryology, EDC pack community. And what I mean by that is this limited edition drop of these two products lasted all of one day, and then they were sold out, and I believe that means that they're gone now forever. And on eBay, sure enough, people are taking advantage, and someone has listed this strap, I believe, for a cool $250 or $350. Now, will they get it? Probably not, but they probably will get a premium over what they paid, perhaps even a multiple. And that's kind of what I want to talk about here. That's the mini hot talk today. So I think, as I said in the Palace Alpine F1 review, you know, if you're not doing a collaboration when it comes to new products and marketing, then what are you doing? You're effectively not doing anything. And we've now gotten to the point where people aren't interested in a product if it's not limited edition, collaboration, unique. We all want to be unique. We all want limited edition stuff. And is it our fault as consumers? Is it corporations' fault? I don't know. I don't know that there's anyone to blame per se. I think perhaps certain companies maybe forged the path. I think Supreme is a great example of a company that was doing collaborations consistently as part of their brand. And I think over time people have seen that, hey, this works. If you want to move a lot of product very quickly, make it limited edition, make it a collaboration, create hype around a drop, and you'll see the product run out the door. This is a stark contrast to what it was like years ago. I mean, I'm old now, but growing up, you know, if you wanted a product, you could expect that you could go to the store and be able to buy it. And that was a good thing. So, you know, the interesting thing around stuff like this, and it's true of shoes, and it's true of jackets, and it's true of these two products here, is there is, in fact, a base product that performs the function just as well. In this case, identically. But why do people want these? I mean, I wanted them for the colorway, but I'm not gonna lie, I jumped on it quick because it was advertised as limited edition, and I just knew if I didn't buy it in the moment, I probably wasn't gonna have a chance to buy it at all. And this is the mental mind game. I'm not saying that there is a right or wrong or someone at fault or this is good or bad. I'm just saying that as a consumer, that you ought to acknowledge that this is happening to you, that this is intentional by the companies that are doing this. It is an artificial scarcity that does not need to exist, but does in order to help them move product. So if they're doing this to help them, the question is it helping you? And I think the answer really lies in whether or not you like what it is they have to sell and you're going to use it and you enjoy it. If that's the case, there's no problem. But I do think as a result of this construct that is intentional on their part, that it creates additional consumerism on our end that perhaps we maybe wouldn't do if it didn't exist. If this artificial scarcity didn't exist, would you buy everything that you have sitting in your closet, sitting on your shelf, sitting in boxes? I know for me, quite honestly, being frank with myself, the answer is no. And so I think that's just a great thing to think about and acknowledge. And I think if you mentally realize that maybe you might make some different decisions and maybe you'll keep some money in your pocket. Because I will tell you, if you look around, I have a house full of limited edition, very rare items. And at the end of the day, all that it is a bunch of stuff. And the next limited edition thing will come out tomorrow and the day after and the day after, and there will always be an opportunity to buy more limited edition rare items. That's just the way that society is trending, and it's the way I fear it will be for the foreseeable future. But all is not lost. So, if you've seen my channel, you know how I feel about money and power. And it kind of feels like with society, right, that there's a lot of fear and angst over where we're collectively headed. That perhaps there is a malicious actor that is kind of driving this planet into the ground. Or perhaps less fear-mongering, just a world where we're on a bus and the driver is asleep at the wheel. I actually think there is a much more hopeful reality to this, but it involves decisions at the lowest level, decisions between people like you and people like myself, and it's all honestly driven by money and how you personally spend it. So, if you buy items like this indiscriminately, then the companies that make these items will continue to market them exactly how they do. And it creates an environment where there will be consumers that are not necessarily acting in bad faith behind closed doors with the people who make the products, but who see an opportunity to make some money, take advantage, snatch up all these limited edition items, and sell them for more to the consumers that have drank the Kool-Aid, also known as scalping. So if you look at the landscape, there's the where we are here and now, and a lot of people may not like it, and they may feel a little bit put off or potentially even hopeless. But the reality is that how you choose to act as a consumer is going to have a direct impact on where things go from here. And again, I'm not saying this is a good thing or a bad thing. I personally believe if there are products out there that are well executed, well designed, and they float your boat, it's perfectly fine to buy them, even if in fact they are marketed as limited edition. I just think it's useful and behooves us to actually take a step back, think for a minute about how we're intentionally being manipulated with these marketing tactics, and ask ourselves, do we really need this thing that we're buying or not? Or are we just buying it because of the hype and hysteria and fear of missing out that's being created around this? And I can openly acknowledge, even as I say this out loud, how these things can mess with your head. Because, for example, the Mystery Ranch Carryology Unicorn 2.0 XDT limited edition 30 packs made, $1,200 price point. Some have changed hands as high as $4,000 to $5,000, and one is on eBay for $7,500. Now, is that the scalper's fault, or is it the fact that Carryology and Mystery Ranch intentionally only created 30 of these packs? A situation like that, I mean, it's market forces. I'm not mad at either side, but you have to be able to realize that the circumstances alone set the situation up to play out exactly as it has. And now we have another Carryology collab with GoRuck, and I don't know how limited it's going to be. I'll be honest, none of the GoRuck designs personally appeal to me. I'm not really kind of a squared off, full zip around the sides backpack sort of guy. In fact, I'll tell you, I have a custom backpack coming my way that is built just for me and my needs. And now we're talking true limited edition, really special stuff, one of one, and it will be perfect just for me. So that's kind of the direction I've gone in. But even I am like, what is this GoRuck collab, and do I need a piece of it or not? And doing all the research and trying to decide, do I want to try to buy one or not? Because I'm only going to have one opportunity to get it at the retail cost now, and I don't want to miss that without having at least put some thought into it. So it's just a hodgepodge of hypocrisy, but I can at least openly talk about it, and I think that's the first step. And there we go. I think that's all I've got for this one. This one might already be too long, but if you like this video, please let me know in the comment. Please let me know if this is something I should continue to do going forward. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you at the next one soon.